forehead look like a chocolate rainbow. Hi guys, thank you and welcome back to my channel. So this week gonna be a really interesting video because we're gonna go ahead and finally unboxing a lot of my purchase from the Sephora VIB sale that I've been kind of put off. So today we're gonna do a lot of high-end products from like Dior, more Dior products, also more Dior products, YSL products, Bobbi Brown, Patrick Ta. So we're gonna go in and unbox and to create this makeup look using a lot of different high-end products that I've been wanting to try forever and finally get the chance to purchase them. So this whole collection is practically, I think, around 1,000 something. Honestly, don't tell Andre that. But yeah, so if we're gonna go in and do an unboxing all the high-end products this week to create this makeup look right here. If you are interested, also have a little bit more secret. If you watch to the end, I'll tell you what it is. So for further ado, let's go in and do all this makeup look in this 90-degree heat in LA right now. So okay, let's go and get started. Okay, so this video we're gonna go in unboxing. Also, we're gonna chat a little bit. But first, I'm just gonna go in and order some boba tea because it's getting really hot. First products we're gonna go in is practically gonna be the skincare. So this is gonna be from AmorePacific. Right in here. So I actually bought this for Andre. Andre usually really sucks at doing his moisturizer until we met me. So I tried to give him something a little bit more like all into one. So all the serum, all the moisturizer, all the products that he needs, essence and all of that for his skin, because he don't want to do like a lot of steps. So we'll recommend using the AmorePacific essential cream, fluid cream right in here. It's really good, and also it's really good for like men's skin because all in one. So I'm just gonna put this aside. So this is like a good product I bought for Andre. So this one I also tried a long time ago, but I always like switching them off. So this one is the Bobbi Brown Vitamin Enriched Face Base. This got really popular at one point. So you can see right in here, the moisturizer is like super thick. It's like really like super creamy. It's kind of like butter if you go like this. Super creamy. So I'm gonna use that on my face as like a face prep. And this one is really good if you have a little bit more like extra dry skin, and I definitely have a little bit more like some part is more dehydrated and some part is a little bit more dry. So this is gonna keep my skin more hydrated. I used the Embryoless. It's a little bit more lighter than the face base. This one. So this is kind of like pretty the same. This is just a little bit more expensive. And this smells super nice. So back in the day working at Sephora, I used to use this all the time. So the Dior Dreamskin, because this is especially really expensive. It's the Capture Total. The package is gonna look like this. All the Dior packaging is super nice. This is gonna be towards the skincare products. So this is gonna be perfect for your. I use this as like I won't say moisturizer. It's more like a skin primer. Like usually 2 pumps is enough. You can see it has like pearlescent, but it's not like shimmery. It's also have a little bit more like peachy pink tone to it to help neutralize your skin. So this one is smells super nice. A lot of like high-end brands tend to put in this like slight fragrance in it. I know a lot of people don't like fragrance in their like cosmetics, or especially on their skincare, because sometimes they get like a little bit more breakout. I actually don't mind having a slight fragrance in the high-end skincare products. I just think it smells like really bougie and really smell like rich white lady. Like this is what it smells like. It's really like smell rich and expensive, because this like $120. This foundation, I've been wanting to try it a long time ago, but I'm just afraid to using it. That's gonna be the YSL, the Yves Saint Laurent Touche Eclat, the Teint Radiant Awakening Foundation. So this one, my color is B30 in Almond. So the reason why I'm kind of like afraid to use like more like high-end foundation, because they tend to have a little bit more like red tone to it because majority gonna be catered to like Caucasian skin tone, a little bit more whiter skin tone. Not a lot of the tone have yellow undertone that's perfect for like Asian skin tone. This one also have SPF 22 in it. So I did use this like once like a few days ago when we go on like a date night. Here is one pump. So here is the color right in here. It does have slight more yellow undertone to it on camera, but in person it does have a slight pink tone to it. It's like really minimal pink tone. It has like slight red tone to it. So I'm just afraid that's gonna be like make my skin a little bit more whiter, and I might need like a darker shade than this one. This might be a little bit more too light for my skin tone. So this foundation, a lot of people like rave about it. So I've been wanting to try forever. Now it's definitely like really white for my skin. Yeah, it's a little bit white, so I'm just gonna go in and mix my regular foundations. This is gonna be the Osé Cosmetics foundation in Nova in number 4. So this have a slight more yellow undertone to it. So I'm just gonna match that into the Touche Eclat to kind of like balance it out a little bit. That's already much better. So I just wish it had like that, yeah, a little bit more like yellow undertone to it and a little bit more red tone to it. And I'm just gonna go in with the beauty blender and press everything in. I love how it's gives you a little bit more like a medium coverage. It's not gonna be too dry. It's not a matte foundation, so I love that. I hate matte foundation because my skin is already like as dry as it is. So I love anything to have a little bit more hydration, and this does give you a little bit more hydration. It's not like extra hydration. It just gives you that little bit push, so it's not super dry. So now with the concealer, it's nothing new. This actually just the cult favorite. It's gonna be the Nars concealer. So I did have the Nars honey right in here before. So everybody practically need to have like the honey because it's a little bit more like color correcting. And I'm ordered this one. This is in light 2.6 Cafe con Leche. Cafe con Leche. Did I spell it right? Cafe con Leche. Something like that. Like that. Cafe con Leche. I might have put it, but this is gonna be my perfect undertone under eye color. So this one, the honey gonna be a little bit more like color correcting. So with the color correcting majority, I'm gonna put in right in here. Also a little bit out here. So because that's usually where I get a little bit more dark area around my lips. Maybe right here. Then the Cafe con Leche, I'm gonna put that right underneath my eye. So this one definitely gonna be a little bit more thicker than my normal concealer. So the Nars one, I don't think I need to talk a lot about Nars because everybody loves the Nars. It's practically the cult favorite. All the makeup artists practically have this on their kit. It's a little bit more pricier for like a concealer. I believe it's around $30, $32 around there. Using a brush. This one gonna be the Morphe M56536. This is my favorite concealer blending brush, and I love the Nars concealer one because it's gonna give you that kind of like slight blurry effect for your under eye. Because it's gonna give you more like medium to fuller coverage in concealer wise. And it's already practically covered everything. And it's super hot in here, so I might be melting in just like a few minutes before my boba get here. I'm also trying to do this makeup look and review it as quick as possible because it's kind of like in the middle of the day, afternoon right now, and the sun is like directly like right there in the window. So it is hot. And then of course I'm gonna go in with the beauty blender again to press it in. So I think majority of all this this week video is gonna be more like complexion focused because I'm kind of like order all this stuff for complexions because I don't see any like new eyeshadow palette came out that is really interesting because I think I haven't like enough eyeshadow palette. So this one is the newest launch from Patrick Ta. If you haven't tried some of the products from Patrick Ta, some of the products are very great. The packaging is amazing. I love this pink color. Here is the packaging. It's so pretty. Look at it. So this is the dual Sculpt So this one is going to be more like a powder bronzer sculpting right under here, and this top one is going to be like a cream. It does have a little bit like the flap right in here, so it doesn't get messy because cream and powder don't go together. So it's great that he put like the flap right in there. It's actually super pretty. I love that this stamp. It's have like a race stamp right in here. That's super amazing. Actually, I did order the brush to go with it right in here. So give me 1 second. So this is gonna be the Perfector brush that came with the collection for the bronzer. So this one for contouring one. Okay. So here is the brush from Perfector brush. So this is like super dense right in here. The width of this one is a bit more thicker than I thought, because it's normally it's kind of like what can I get? So normally like it's kind of like this is the Morphe brush, contouring brush right in here. So R8. So I rarely use this one. So this one is the new Perfector. It does have like a slight dome in here. The fiber feels synthetic, but it's super soft. Is it synthetic or natural? I think it's supposed to be synthetic, because if you use more like natural fiber, it wouldn't go well with the cream contouring, because that's gonna be stuck too much into the fiber's pores. But this one feels super soft. So I'm just gonna dab a little bit of this one. Ooh. You know, each time when you get like new brush and you kind of like don't want it to get dirty, and you're just so scared to put it into like products, and now especially this one with like really white fiber, and now it's gonna get like really dark and dirty, and I'm like okay, so this one's supposed to be easy when you do like this. So it does feel like a little bit more easier to use because of that like stamping motion. So it gives you that kind of like straight line to your cheek. Also gonna help you blend upward a little bit more easier. So he created this one to help you be easier for like contouring. So I definitely need to blend that out a little bit. So for this part, it's really easy. For this part, I guess I still need to be like use it a few more times to get used to the brush. Usually up here, I like to use something a little bit more like rounder dome brush like this one. It's gonna be a little bit more easier for you to go like this for contouring. But this one could be really good for like your cheek contouring. It's making it super easy to like just go swoop swoop. Okay, first start with this formulation with the cream contouring. I feel like it's hydrating. It's not so patchy. It's really blendable. It's really soft. It's more like really, it doesn't give you like that chunky contouring. It's blending out pretty well. Actually, I'm gonna use my other one, this one, to help blending out, because I feel like the dome brush is gonna be a little bit more easier for me to like blend. But so far I kind of love this color. It's not too, I love how it's not too gray, because contouring tend to be have to have that like gray to create that shadow, and this have a little bit more warmer towards more like a bronzerish shade, but it's still gonna give you that defined contour. So I do love that. And definitely it's gonna look a little bit more dark right now before I blend everything out, but that's all like kind of like the whole process. So far for the color in medium for my skin tone, I do love it. I feel like it's matched with my skin tone perfectly for like a bronzer shade. And I'm just gonna go in with the beauty blend just to diffuse it out a little bit, because I don't want such harsh line for contouring. I'm just gonna go in with the Kat Von D brush number 40 right in here. Just have like the edge right in here. I feel like it's gonna be perfect for nose contouring. So now I'm just gonna go in with the Perfector contouring shade cream contour to do my nose contouring. So just a quick nose surgery update while I'm doing my nose contouring. So I just recently stopped taping my nose, because you're supposed to tape your nose like the first 3 or 4 months or something like that. So I just recently stopped taping, because I feel like it's a little bit more long enough. So that I still have a little bit more, like a little bit swelling, like a certain way. So that's still part of like the healing process. So that's why they say that nose contouring, rhinoplasty, nose surgery gonna take you a little bit more like a year to heal. But so far, like each day I feel like something get a little bit more less swollen. So right now everything is still a little bit more swollen. So I guess I just have to wait for a little bit more longer. Oh no, I bought this one, but I guess we're not gonna have the chance to use this one. So Iconic London did come out with another sheer bronze cream bronzer. So since we put on this one, I guess we can't use this one, but I'm just gonna go ahead and swatch it really quick. So this is the new Iconic London. I wouldn't say this is gonna be like pricey, but they just came out and I really wanted to, ooh, but so far it's really runny. The color is not very appetizing, to be honest, but I guess since this is gonna be more like a bronzing shade, I'm just gonna go ahead and use my brush right in here and trying to like blend it. It doesn't have any smell, but it does really get like runny like this. So this is gonna be the Iconic one. I'm probably gonna try this on like the next video. I think this is gonna be a little bit more better if you use this for like a whole body bronzer, because it does get a little bit more runny like this. I think it's gonna be pretty if you use this more like a body bronzer, so your whole body get like a little bit more tan and golden. Another product from Patrick Ta right in here. So this one is gonna be the Patrick Ta Face Major Headline Double Take Cream and Powder Blush. So he blanched just a blush color before, so now he double it up with the cream also in it. So that's gonna be the new packaging. Patrick Ta Cream Blush Duo. This is very similar to like the bronzer. So this is gonna be the bronzer shade. This is gonna be the cream blush and powder blush. So the color I got is She's So LA. So here is the color She's So LA. Ooh, the color is very interesting. This color is like a little bit more peachier. I thought it would be more pinkier. Since my complexion is still wet, I'm gonna go in with the Beauty Blender right in here for the blush. So I'm just gonna go ahead and put the blush right up here. And if you haven't noticed, I kind of like really into cream blushes lately. Like before, like for some reason I really hated cream blush because I feel it's so messy and it doesn't go well with my foundations and all of that. So I never liked cream blush until like recently. So I'm just gonna go ahead and put cream blush on the highest point of my cheek. So normally when I put the powder, I put it a little bit more lower, but when I start out with the cream, I go a little bit more higher first, because you have a little bit more control with cream on that way, because if you put on a little bit too low with cream, it's a little bit more harder for you to take off. Plus I feel like if you put the cream blush a little bit more higher, it gives you a little bit more like lift to your face. But this color I actually do love it also. It's pretty sheer. So all the product from like Patrick Ta tend to be a little bit more sheer. It's more like buildable. But so far I do love this one. Ooh, my boba is here. Give me 1 second. Get some boba. Ooh, my ass. Ugh. Boba. Yay, I got boba. So I usually get the tea, the Thai tea with aloe vera. So normally I don't like the boba balls, but I kind of replace it with aloe vera. So this one is my all-time favorite must-have powder. So this is going to be the Charlotte Tilbury Airbrush Flawless Finish powder. I use this a lot, like a lot. So I practically currently like running out this one. So this is my like old one. I can still use it, but I just ordering like a new one. So the packaging coming like this. So you see me using this one like practically like many times, but the packaging is beautiful. So I used this before, so this is practically me just restocking because I love this powder. It's great for you to travel with. It's good for you to kind of like blot powder throughout the day, or if you wanted to set. It's not that 100% great for setting because I feel like it's a little bit too fine to set. to use this powder to set, but it's going to be great for you to blot throughout the day using it as a finishing powder because it doesn't really like cake up. I'll give you like that a lot of coverage like a foundation powder. This is more like really sheer finishing powder, so we recommend getting this one. So I'm just going to go ahead and use my like old one, the one I still have. So I'm just going to use this one for my under eye setting. So it's not like one of those setting powder like the normal setting powder that could be a little bit too heavy. This one is super light, so it's gonna be kind of like lightly set your face and complexion. Like on that day you don't want to like completely fully set your foundation, you want to keep that kind of like dewiness. I would use this one because the formulation is a little bit more lighter and it doesn't really kick up your makeup. So I was planning to use the Patrick Ta bronzer, but actually I really trying to use this a lot. So I bought a whole bunch of like Dior Backstage palette, like contouring palette, bronzer palette, highlighter palette, and then blush palette. So we may be gonna go in and use this one because I'm really interested in using this one. So the packaging in here is super pretty. So this one going to be the Dior Backstage contouring palette. It's have 4 different color right in here. So you have light highlighter, highlighter deep, contouring light, contouring deep. I feel like, so this does have a little bit more greater tone. This is going to be practically used like a bronzer shade. This might be, it does have a slight shimmery iridescent with this one. This one is more like a matte. This 2-bottle one is going to be more like a matte color. This one is more like highlighter, shimmery. It's have that sheer veil to it. So this one is the Scott Barn brush number 64. I bought 2 of this, but kind of like for some reason I'm kind of like rarely using it. So now we're just going to go in with like all over bronzer, contouring. Let's go with contouring first with this shade right in here. So it's supposed to be kind of like sheer. So I'm just going to dab my brush right into this color. Can you see anything? Does it give you any color? I think it's like you can see it a little bit. It's really super sheer. All the high-end brand products tend to be kind of like that. Like you can barely see it, but it's definitely going to be there. It doesn't go in like pow, like a lot of color. But I kind of like how you can like easily building up the color and not too like overly drawn. Like, that might be like perfect for nose contouring shade. So now I'm just gonna go ahead and try the bronzer shade right in here. It's a little bit more redder tone. Oh shit, that's a lot. Oh crap. Ooh. Oh no, that's too dark. So this is super sheer, but that is super dark.
I am so sorry to my world. I am so sorry to my world. This is not what we want.
Great, now my forehead looks like a chocolate rainbow. So with this one, be really careful with it because it's super high pigmented. So I'm just gonna go in really lightly. Guys, it's getting darker and darker as they go. Don't worry, we're gonna fix it in just a second. You know, that shade be good. I know my face look a little bit more crazy right now because that color is super dark. Woo. But you know, that shade could be perfect to use like an eyeshadow color. Maybe I'm gonna use that as eyeshadow later. Okay, let me use this big brush to kind of like sheer everything out. That's slowly getting better, right? Or am I still looking a little bit crazy? Maybe I still look a little bit crazy. That damn color is so dark. Hold on, let me go in with the Charlotte Tilbury color to kind of like diffuse my forehead a little bit because that look crazy. So some color definitely is a little more pigmented than the other. I thought the contouring shade could be a little bit more like darker, but definitely this color right in here is like, that's some crazy ass pigment right in there. So just be careful with that color. I'm probably gonna use that one as like an eyeshadow later because I feel like the color, the shade of it is like perfect for like eyeshadow. It's have that slight red terracotta to it, so I kind of love that. So we're gonna go in and use that as kind of like a eyeshadow color. Okay, so I actually bought a little bit too much of bronzer apparently, so I bought also like the Nars This is actually like another cult favorite, the bronzing powder right in here. So the Laguna is everybody's favorite. This happens to like work with every single skin tone. And it's right here. This is a new packaging, and here is the color. I did use this like 2 days ago when I was going out, so I do love this color. I feel I have a lot of bronzer on right now, but I'm just gonna go ahead and slap on a little bit more. So I'm just gonna use this first. Maybe that's gonna diffuse it, the other one, a little bit more better. And I do love the Nars one. It's have that like golden bronzer grayish tone, so this is gonna be perfect for like contouring or bronzer. So I do love that one. So this is another Dior Backstage Glow Facial Palette. So this one right here is the blush palette. It's have 4 different color. Here is all the color. It's so like metallic, so iridescent. It doesn't have like a lot of that like shiny big pigment. It's really like sheer and glowy, and I love that. I like this yellow shade to be more like a highlighter because I have a little bit more yellow tone. So I'm leaning towards something a little bit more like golden glow rather than something that is too light and bright like on this color right in here. So I'm just actually gonna try this color right in here as like a highlighter, and nothing showed up. It's like showed up, but it's actually really sheer. Watch, I think this color is super sheer, and then the next color I swatch is like super high pigmented. So I usually put on like the highest point of my face. So if you can see, it does show up a little bit, but it's super sheer. I wish it just gave me a little bit more pigment. It's like really super sheer. You just have to like really put your brush into it for it to like give out some color. Now I'm just gonna actually kind of curious with this pink color right in here, so I'm just gonna go ahead and dip my brush in there. Also, it's gonna give you a little bit more like look a little bit like a Tin Man right in here, but the color is super nice and glowy. I think if you're using this like really shimmer blush and highlighter, it might be a little bit too much. I would recommend pick one or the other, or else you might look a little bit like the Tin Man. I think it's a little bit too much highlight. Now I have to blend that out too. I don't think I would use like this color as like a blush. I would use more like a pink highlight up here a little bit more rather than using it as a blush, because if you use more like highlight up here and then also a shimmering blush right down here, it's gonna be a little bit too shimmery, a little bit too metallic. This might be good for, ooh, that's actually gonna be really pretty if you use like an eyeshadow color. But right now I feel like I'm a little bit too glowy. So I'm just gonna go in with the Glow Recipe Spray right in here to keep my skin a little bit more hydrated, because lately we're just using a lot of powder, and I tend to use a lot like midway through my makeup I like to use like a hydrating spray. So that's kind of like wet your face and kind of like taking out that powder effect that your face powder, like setting powder or the bronzing powder that is like sitting on your skin. And sometimes when you do the spray, everything kind of like merge together a little bit more better. And since I only have like a lot of complexion products, we still have a little bit more complexion like Charlotte Tilbury blushes, and then another Dior highlighter, and then more blushes actually. So we're gonna go in and try out the complexion in just a bit. So since there is not a lot of different for eye makeup or brows, I'm just gonna go ahead and do my eye makeup and brows off camera, and then I'm gonna go back and finishing up with the more complexion products from other hand products from like Dior and Nars. Okay, I'll be right back in just a few minutes. Whew. Okay, so I am back. I was really getting into doing my eye makeup right in there, listening to like Ariana Grande, so it took me a minute. But so for the eye makeup look, I did try to stay with what I purchased. I did go in with the Dior contouring shade, and I used all of these shades to do my eye makeup. So I used this lighter shade for like all over wash after I put like eye primer, and then I used this shade right in here, the more bronzer contouring shade, as like a first lay down to give it a little bit more like a definition, a little bit more contouring shade, because that's the shade I use for like contouring, so I use that for like my eye, and then I punch up the color a little bit more with this darker shade that we happen to kind of messed up using as like a bronzer. So with this one, so yeah, so I love using this color shade as like eyeshadow. Actually, it's more perfect like an eyeshadow makeup. It's gonna give you that really good chocolate smoky eye look, which I love. And then for the center color, I want something a little bit more pop. So this is gonna be a little bit more like a halo eye. So I did went in and used this shimmer pink blush from Dior Backstage Glow Face Palette. So we did use this one as kind of like a blush, but I feel like it's a little bit too metallic, a little bit too glowy to use as a blush, because I want my blush to be a little bit more like in a matter side. I don't mind to have a little bit more shimmer, but this is a little bit more like a highlight shimmer to put on top. You want to have a little bit more color highlight. I wouldn't recommend using this one as like a blush, but I use this as like a little bit of like that pink color right on the center to give it a little bit more like punch, a little bit more like girly pop. Use a little bit more like a pink color, which I love. So I'm practically, I think I'm going to start using this as more like a highlighter, and then the rest of the color I'm going to use more like an eye pop, like center eye color. This will be like perfect shade. So after that, I did went into tightline my eye with a little bit more like a black color. You can use any of the black color. I'm using the Makeup by Mario eyeshadow palette. He have like really good black color right in here. My palette is so dirty right now. And then I did finishing up with the tight line with the wing liner with a Bobbi Brown gel liner, which is one of my favorite. And for mascara, I just kind of like restock my mascara products. It's my favorite, the Better Than Sex Too Faced Better Than Sex mascara. So this is my favorite. I have like a lot of it, so I do use this like a lot. So I practically just bought an extra one just to restock. And then for the face, because we used so much for like bronzer right up here, it's kind of like a chocolate rainbow up into that situation with the Dior contouring shades. I did go in to diffuse it a little bit using the Sephora, my favorite Sephora micro bake powder. So I did use this as my like finishing powder. I use this like every single time I do my makeup. I'm obsessed with this one to kind of like do a buffing motion all over your face. So it's kind of like give you that natural skin tone, but also buffing and diffuse any of the darkened area. So I did use that to kind of like neutralize all the darker area that happened to put on a little bit too much. So with the lip, I'm gonna go with something a little bit more nude, because I think I've been doing a lot of like pinkish nude or natural stone, or like a darker nude, or like pinker colors, and I want to be something a little bit more like a nude because I want something to focus more on the eye makeup. So I'm gonna go in with the Marc Jacob lip liner right in here. It's more like a nude color. It's called Nudist. Actually, first I'm gonna go in with a little brush right in here with the golden color. So I'm gonna use that as like my cubist bow. Then I'm just gonna go in with the Marc Jacob nude color. So here is the color. It's more like a nude. So it's more like a nude, say natural colors. I'm gonna go in with that, and then we're gonna also go in with another color to kind of like lighten it a little bit more. I purchased this like a long time ago with the Makeup by Mario makeup set once Makeup by Mario launched, and actually never ever used it. So I always want like, oh, I'm gonna do it on my next video, but then I always forgot to use it. So today we're actually gonna go end up and finally like unboxing this products right in here. So you have all the color and formulations right in here. Also come with like a brush, and the special about this one is have like a metal tray right in here for you to kind of like mix all your lip color right up here, which I always excited to use, but I'm like always forgot. Honestly, I always forgot to like use it. So here's all the colors. It's so pretty. I love this one, how you can like mix and match all the colors for your perfect lip color shade. So today we're gonna go in and try that. So it's also come with like a lip brush like this. It's super cute. So today I want something a little bit more like a nude color. So this is the first nude color. So I think I'm gonna go in and scrape out a little bit of that color onto the spatula. So it's like a little bit of the color. I'm gonna put it right over, like I'm trying to show this on here. So I'm gonna put that right on here, a little color right in here. Then I want it to not so nude, so I want something a little bit more like pinkish nude. So I'm gonna go in with the next color next to it. I'm just gonna go in with like a little bit of that, put that right in there, and then I'm gonna go use this and kind of like mix the two together, and hopefully it's coming out with like a perfect nude, pinkish nude for my lip that I'm looking for. It's interesting using this because it's kind of like fun. How's this color? Would that be like a good nude? So I'm just gonna go ahead and try it out. Ooh, I kind of like it so far. Kind of fun. I should have used this palette a little bit more often. I just want it to be a little bit more nude, so I'm just gonna go ahead and put my brush right in there. Maybe just on like the center. Wonder what happened if I'm using like a little bit more like a wider color onto it. So I'm just gonna line up that color a little bit. So I'm just gonna pick up just a little bit of the white color and put into that palette, and then I'm gonna go swish. So hopefully that's gonna be a little bit more lighter. It does getting lighter. So it does get a little bit more lighter color to give you a little bit more like a lighter nude. Now I actually ordered another Dior highlighter, which I thought I don't have enough highlighter already. So this one gonna be the Diorskin Nude Luminizer. So this one is mainly for highlighter. Here is the packaging. Is coming with like, ooh, this feel velvet package right in here, and here is the color. I mean, not the color, the packaging. And when you open it, here is, ooh, there is the color. It's more like a shimmering champagne color. It's super nice. Ooh. I'm not sure if this two is like, it's like the same color, but they look very similar to each other. This have a little bit more like golden tone to it. This have a little bit more like a champagne tone to it. The closest I can say is it's kind of like in between Becca, Champagne Pop, and Opal. If Champagne Pop and Opal have like a baby, it's like in between those two. That's gonna be this color. So now I'm just gonna go ahead and apply this one. I'm trying to not putting so much highlighter because I think I kind of like put a lot of highlighter earlier, but so far I kind of love this highlighter better than this one. I think this one has a little bit more too metallic-y. It's have a little bit more higher shimmer. I love the color of this one because I feel like it's matched with my skin tone a little bit more. Now I feel it's a little bit closer to the color Opal from Becca, which is one of my favorite color. Then I'm just gonna dip another clean brush right in here and use that right under my brows. Okay, so with this highlighter, it's not as high pigmented as Becca, but the formulation is really sheer, and I kind of love that because it's you kind of like build it up. Okay, so with this one, I kind of overboard in buying a lot of blushes. So first off, we have the Fenty Rihanna Cheek Out. So this is more like a cream blush. I think I'm gonna use this on like another video because it's more cream, and we already used the cream blush from like Patrick Ta earlier, so I can't put on a new one. So this color is in Rose Latte. The color is like this. Now look at it, it's kind of like deep, but I think when you're blending it out, let me use my finger a little bit. So this is gonna be Rose Latte. Ooh, that is dark. But I think with the color, once you like kind of like blending it out to your cheek, it's gonna be really sheer. And first thought, I think this is gonna be really great for your eyeshadow makeup too. So I'm gonna save this one for the next video vlog to try this out because I like restocking. So I'm just buying like a lot of different cheek colors so I can try out on the next video. Another products I buy from like cheek for blush is actually like the Nars products. Nars is very popular with their blushes, especially the color Orgasm. So if you don't know Nars Orgasm, you're kind of like missing out. It's like a cult favorite. I think they kind of like reformulate it a little bit. So that's gonna be the Nars Orgasm color. It's a little bit more like pinkish, a little bit more golden peachy color. I do love this one. I don't know why I stopped using it. I think there's a certain time with the formulation. I'm not sure if they kind of like formulate it wrong or something. It's a little bit more like more golden or more peachy, but now it's a little bit more pinkish, peachy color. So that is one of the color blush. And another color that I wanted to try from like the Nars blush collection is the color Deep Throat. Here is the Orgasm, and here is the Deep Throat color. I'm not sure if you can see the difference on the camera, but Deep Throat is a little bit more lighter color, a little bit more lighter pink, and then Orgasm is a little bit more slightly deeper pink with a golden iridescent peachy tone. So here is, not sure, they're very similar to each other. So I think if you can pick either one would be fine. They're very similar to each other. But today we're actually gonna go in with one of the blush that I've been wanting to use forever, and that's gonna be the Charlotte Tilbury blush right in here. So here is the packaging. Charlotte Tilbury is really popular also, but it's really expensive. So here is the Charlotte Tilbury Pillow Talk Chic to Chic. The color is in Intense. Ooh, that's a little bit dark right there. So here's the color Intense. It looks a little bit more lighter on the website, so I'm not sure why I got the darker one. So maybe I'm kind of afraid to use this one because it's look a little bit dark. Okay, it's look a little bit dark, so I'm going to go ahead and try on my hand first to see if it's gonna be too dark for me. Maybe it worked. So let's go ahead and try this one. So again, I might mess up my makeup using this one, so I'm just gonna use the same Scott Bronze brush number 64, and I'm gonna swirl and just have a little bit more like highlighter area right in here. Whew. Don't mess up my makeup. So I'm gonna go ahead and put that right in here. Actually, it's not bad. It's gonna go with the eyeshadow makeup look a little bit. It could give you a little bit more like a deep berry chocolate color. Okay, so when you're applying it, it's a little bit more sheer than it look on the palette. Okay, I don't want to put on too much, and then it's just gonna look like I just got slapped in the face with blushes. And I'm just gonna go ahead and use a clean angle brush and just gonna go ahead and buff everything out. So if you happen to like kind of like having a little bit too dark, just go in with the Studio Fix powder right in here, and with a brush just gonna go in and kind of like buff on top of it. It's gonna help diffuse it out a little bit. So I'm just gonna brighten up my under eye a little bit. That's also help diffusing the blush. Okay, so I think that's enough with all the blush and all the color. Now I'm just gonna go ahead and set everything using the Scandinavia setting spray to help merge all my color together. Okay, so that's gonna be my finished makeup. I'm just gonna finishing up a little bit more with the Makeup by Mario. I actually got the whole color range from Makeup by Mario lip gloss right in here. So have the color Problem Golden Nude, and I got the color Mauve Nude and Rose Nude. So I'm gonna go in and do something a little bit more like nude color right in here. So I'm gonna put on the Golden Nude color to help my lip a little bit more hydrated. So with this one, is have a little bit more nude color, and also have a little bit more like a little golden iridescent to it. So just one more thing that I want to finishing up with this makeup look right here, that's gonna be fragrance. So my favorite products that I purchased from like the Rouge is actually like fragrance. So this is the YSL fragrance right here. I've been wanting this bottle for like ever, and I love how like it's all golden. It's really chic, it's really expensive. So I forgot what the name of this one, Libre. So I love this one. The scent of it is really nice. So it's a little bit more, it smells expensive, it smells rich, it smells sexy, it smells a little bit more floral, but a little bit more deeper floral. It just smells like that deep, sexy, powerful, strong scent, and I'm kind of like I'm obsessed with this one. So I just want to finish up my makeup look with the scent. Ooh, smells expensive. That's actually one of my new favorite fragrance. Also, I have like a lot of different fragrances I like collect. So if you are interested to see my fragrance collection or what are my favorite collection, leave a comment right down below that I'm going to show you what my favorite note in fragrance are. But this one is like Yeah, so that's gonna be my finished makeup look using all the high-end makeup products, mostly gonna be Dior, YSL. I'm supposed to do this video for a while, but we're actually in the middle of doing something. That's why it's been in delay. And since if you're watching this video all the way to this right in here, I want to say thank you, and don't forget to like, subscribe, and all of that. But actually there's gonna be, I'll be taking a little break after this video, because as this video coming up in the next few days, actually next week, a week from today, the day I'm recording it, I'm actually gonna get boobies. So if you've been following me on my Instagram, you're watching my Instagram story, a lot of you would know that I went to a plastic surgeon doctor, that I've been my dream doctor, to get my titties done, my tatas, my boobies. So we're gonna graduate from the itsy bitsy tiny titty committee, and we're gonna graduate into boobies finally. So I'm really excited about that. So we actually, the surgery is supposed to be like a month away, but then they call and have an opening, so we're gonna push it up to next week. So this is gonna be the last video you're gonna see me having this itsy bitsy tiny titty committee. So yeah, so next video we're gonna have like boobies. I'm so excited, also really nervous, and I've been delayed doing this video because we've been doing like researching, testing, meeting, all of that. So it's like a lot of stuff when you do before you do like a really major surgery. That's why it's been on delay. So after this video, I'm gonna try to record all the whole process of getting like breast implants. Also, the whole process, what you need to do, what you expect, what to do after the recovery process. So if you have any questions regarding breast augmentation or getting boobies, leave me a comment right down below, so I remember to answer all those questions on the upcoming few video that's regarding breast augmentation. So yeah, I'm so excited and nervous at the same time. So if you happen to like any of the products right in here, or you want to try any of the products, or if you have any questions regarding my upcoming surgery, I would love to answer all those questions. And I think that's about it. I know this video might be a little bit long, so all my videos a little bit long. So if you all make it to here, thank you, and don't forget to like and subscribe to my channel right down below. Ring the bell button right here for upcoming video. Also, I post a lot on my Instagram story, IGTV, so don't forget to follow me in there also. And I think that's about it. Okay, I'll see you on my next video, my journey to get boobies. Okay, I'll see you again next video. Bye bye.